Gen V Season 2 has just drawn to a close, and you know what that means, right? It's time to rank all of the Supes that appeared in the show and determine which are the most powerful out of them all. Within this season, we were introduced to a wide array of new Supes, some with interesting powers, and others that belonged in the bottom 10% and were viewed as being disposable. So, like Thomas Godolkin, I thought it was only right to rank them from weakest to strongest. Here is Gen V Season 2 every Supe and power ranked. Before I start, I just want to say that this ranking won't include characters that appeared, such as Sister Sage, Black Noir, A-Train, or Starlight, as they are main characters in The Boys. This is mainly focused on characters that belong solely in the Gen V universe and have more focus in this show than the parent show. Number 19. Hempel. The Supe from Season 2 that I'm putting in last place is the one that probably got the shortest end of the stick in this season, and that's Pledge to the Frat House Hempel. Not only was he made to walk around in a diaper, but his powers were arguably some of the most useless that we've ever seen. His power was that he could transform his big toes into thumbs, something that at face value doesn't provide much at all, maybe just enhanced grip with the feet, so he rightfully deserves to be at the bottom of the list. Number 18. Black Hole. Black Hole is a Supe that didn't offer much at all. He was crucial to the final battle, but outside of that, in general, his powers are pretty redundant. He essentially has the ability to absorb people around him and ultimately release them later on, so when in battle, it holds no real advantage whatsoever if he's one-on-one. Number 17. Stacy Ferreira. We didn't see much of Stacy in this show, but what we did find out was that her power made her resemble a bee. She had a stinger that was said to give an extremely painful death to anybody who she stung, and she was also able to produce her own honey. Her biggest weakness, though, was the fact that after using her stinger, she'd end up dying too, like a normal bee would. So realistically, her power was pretty redundant, as it would render her dead if she ever used it. Number 16. Ali. The only reason I've got Ali on this list above the others is because she actually proved to be quite useful when it came to taking out Thomas Godolkin, and we saw the strength that her powers had. Ali's powers consist of her being able to extend her hair from down below and control it with her mind. She came through on 2 occasions with it, and she helped save the day twice, so that has to earn some brownie points. We haven't seen her in a one-on-one battle, but one would imagine that it could also be quite useful. Godolkin was unable to break free from the hair, so it must be quite strong. Number 15. Lisa Henning. This is a character that we only got a brief glimpse of in the show during the finale, but she was a Supe that had the ability to emit fire from her hands. We didn't see much of her, but I thought she was worth including in the ranking because her powers were pretty cool and they were definitely stronger than the others below in the ranking. Number 14. Dogknot. Along with the traditional powers that Supes get after taking Compound V, such as enhanced strength and durability, Dogknot's powers consist of mirroring a canine and giving him dog-like traits. This allows him to communicate with other dogs in a telepathic way. He has enhanced smell, even greater than Supes. He has night vision, and he also has enhanced hearing. Whilst he didn't appear much, he did put up a worthy fight, but was ultimately stopped quite easily by a stronger Supe. Number 13. Vikor. Vikor resembles a Viking warrior, and with that, his powers pretty much resemble what you'd expect an enhanced Viking to have. He had extreme strengths, which was shown to us when multiple Supes were working together weren't able to defeat him, even Sam, who has superhuman strength as part of his powers. And Vikor also has enhanced durability, which means that he can withstand powers from others being emitted towards him from other Supes. He also has his hammer too, which he wields and uses as a form of attack due to being proficient in handling it correctly. Number 12. Zoe. To be honest, Zoe would be lower on this list if she didn't quite literally kill the Supe that was below her. However, I think it's the innocent look that she has that went in her favour, but I think that can be seen as part of her powers. Zoe is able to produce these eels from her mouth, which each have their own mouths with razor-sharp teeth and attack when she commands them to, ultimately causing a complete bloody frenzy. Her ability to act innocent is something that she also has in her favour because she lures her victims into a false sense of security because it allows her to get close enough to then utilise her powers on them. Number 11. Annabeth. Next up is Annabeth. She has the potential to be higher on this list, but as we saw with her throughout this season of the show, her visions were pretty useless, and even once she had them, she wasn't really able to determine when it was going to happen and how she could stop it. As Godolkin said, she's the worst precog he's ever seen, and I think that's a fair assessment. She does have the potential to be a god tier Supe, which hasn't been answered yet, but I feel like if they were gonna make her one, it would have been revealed in this season. Number 10. Rufus. Rufus's powers at face value are actually really strong, but we've just never really seen him utilize them in the right way. They were always used in a sick way for him. Rufus has the ability to hypnotize others that are around him and make them responsive to what he says, and also, when they wake up from this hypnotic hold, the victim can no longer remember anything about it. As well as that, Rufus also has the ability to enter the thoughts of somebody that's in front of him, and is able to look deep within their memories for specific information that he's seeking out, and maybe use it against them. These powers are pretty cool and strong, but we've never seen him utilize them in an effective way in battle. But in general, his powers would be pretty strong if they were used correctly. Number 9. Harper. Harper's ability of being able to essentially take on the power of any Supe and know how to instantly use those powers for the space of 1 minute is pretty cool. This means that she could quite literally have Homelander's strength if she got close enough to him. It means that she's basically got an endless amount of powers that she can pick between. However, the thing that really lets her down is that she can only use it for 1 minute. After she loses the power of the Supe that she's touched, if she's not near anybody else, then she's pretty helpless. Number 8. Emma. Emma's powers is one that could be so useful if she learned how to use them correctly, and within the finale we saw how powerful they could be, so maybe she's finally getting them under control. Emma being able to grow extremely large and enhance her strength is an ability that proves to be extremely advantageous, as not much is able to knock her down and her strength increases dramatically as well. But then also, the ability to be able to get really small allows her to be stealthy and to sneak into places where nobody can truly go, as nobody else notices her. Number 7. Sam. Sam felt like he was nerfed in this season, and that's why he isn't higher on the list. Sam holds the ability of having superhuman strength to a level where he's stronger than most, and he's also able to leap extremely far distances in one go due to the strength that he has in his legs. Within this season, we saw Sam learning more about his schizophrenia and getting it more under control to a certain degree, so his mind was also in more of a stable position as the story developed, but we just didn't really see him utilizing his powers that much in this season, so for that reason, he's sitting in 7th on the list. Number 6. Greg. I was torn between the positions of him and Sam, but as we saw in the finale, we got to see Greg's powers being demonstrated, and I think he's better than Sam. Greg has the ability to fly, and fly at great speed as well, which is definitely better than having a superhuman leap like Sam. And we also saw that Greg has superhuman strength too, which was shown to us when he was fighting in the arena during the season finale. So whilst his powers are very similar to Sam's, I would say that Greg does hold the upper hand and deserves to be one place higher. Number 5. Jordan. So now we're in the top 5, and Jordan is definitely one of the strongest Supes in Gen V. Jordan has an immense amount of powers that they're able to utilize in combat. First off, as we know, they're able to change gender and transform in the blink of an eye from a male to a female, and then back again if they need to. They're also able to emit energy blasts ranging from small bursts to large ones from their hands, which are able to cause damage. As well as that, they have agility, which means that they're more agile and able to evade being hit by other Supes quicker than those around them. Alongside that, they have enhanced strength, which makes them stronger than most other Supes, and they also have a sense of indestructibility, which means that they don't often feel physical pain. They're also able to plant themselves into the ground and become extremely difficult to move. These powers are definitely some of the strongest in the show, and when used correctly, Jordan can be a true force to be reckoned with. Number 4. Polarity. Now that Polarity has lost his tremors and was cured by Marie, his powers are definitely up there as being some of the strongest. The main power that he has is magnetism manipulation. This allows him to control magnetic fields within his mind. He's able to control metal and reshape it in any way that he wants. As well as that, he's also able to emit a shockwave of electromagnetic energy which allows him to shoot the blast towards anybody that he wants. This was something that he utilized on Godolkin in the finale and caused Godolkin's powers to be rendered useless at that moment in time. As well as that, he has superhuman strength and also enhanced hearing and durability. Number 3. Cate. For me, Cate Dunlap is arguably one of the most powerful Supes that there is in Gen V. First off, her telepathic ability that allows her to enter people's minds and know what people are thinking is something that never allows a secret to be hidden from her, and information can never truly be withheld. As well as that, her main power, which is the act of persuasion, which allows her to make anybody do what she wants by telling them a prompt, is extremely dangerous, as we saw in the Season 1 finale. Alongside that, she also has the ability of making people instantly fall asleep when she tells them to sleep, so she can render an enemy unconscious at any point. Another main power that she has is that she's able to take ownership of somebody around her and is able to speak through them and act in a certain way. This was done in the second episode of Season 2. And finally, the ability that Cate has to trap people inside of their own memories within a shared space is something that shows that she's able to warp the reality that they're in and make them not truly know what's going on. Most of Cate's weaknesses come from the fact that if she loses her arm or ability to touch, then it becomes more difficult for her to utilize her powers. And as we saw, if she gets severely injured, it renders her powers to a state where she's not in full control. Number 2, Godolkin. Now, I was torn on whether or not to have Godolkin at number 1 on this list or not, as he did quite literally manage to get the better of Marie. However, she did end up killing him, so it didn't quite feel right putting him at number 1 after being defeated. Thomas Godolkin is basically God, and with the knowledge that he holds in his mind, paired with the superhuman abilities that he has due to the V1 that he took, he's a true force. Godolkin's main power is that he's able to control anybody around him, something which is known as possession. He was able to fully take over their body and control all of their movements, including speech too. This is a power that he's able to keep constantly switched on and never truly let go of, as we saw when he was in control of Doug, posing as Dean Cipher for almost 30 years. Alongside that, we also saw that Godolkin has the ability to control many people at once, causing them to attack each other and taking their attention off of him. So it basically renders every other Supe useless because he's able to control them and get them to emit their own powers. As well, because of V1, he also ages extremely slowly and hadn't really aged since the fire in the lab in 1967. When it comes to his weaknesses, even though he held an immense amount of power, if there was somebody around him that he wasn't in control of, he was actually pretty weak. He was stunned easily, he was contained by Ali's hair pretty easily too, and he was also killed pretty easily without being able to fight back whatsoever. So, as strong as his strengths are, his weaknesses do let him down quite a bit. Number 1, Marie. As we found out in this season, Marie was the only surviving test subject from Project Odessa rather than Homelander, so she holds an immense amount of power. First off, we know that Marie is able to control and manipulate blood and is also able to utilize it as a weapon, turning it into a lasso or even sharp so it kills when it hits. As well as that, she's also able to heal other people and Supes that are around her, even enhancing their powers. This was shown when she healed Polarity, which improved his powers, Thomas Godolkin, which made him youthful again, and also when she healed Cate's powers so she could have full control of them. However, the main power that we saw her utilizing in this season, and the most recent one that she unlocked, was the ability of resurrecting somebody. This was shown to us on her sister Annabeth when she brought her back to life. Due to Marie's connection to blood, as well as the manipulation and control that she has over external blood, she's also able to do things like detect a heartbeat to know when somebody's near her. She's tried to be able to cause a heart attack on the likes of Vikor in slowing the heart right down, and she's also able to do a Vicky Newman and become a head popper. In my opinion, Marie is quite comfortably the most powerful suit that was in Gen V, and other than Homelander, she could quite literally be stronger than everybody else in the universe. So hopefully when she returns to our screens in The Boys Season 5, she'll accept the fact that she actually is special. So, there you have it, Gen V Season 2, every Supe and power ranked.